Number 7. Sinister Stealth. YouTuber Bloat Outdoors lives for sneaking around through the most unlikely spots to stealth camp in. But trust me, this time, no late night camping experience prepared him and his friend Mick for the fear they felt when they spent the night on the grounds of Chillingham Castle. The castle is located in Northumberland and is labelled as Britain's most haunted historic castle. Fortified as Chillingham Castle in 1344, the place has seen its fair share of war and hurt. Just take one look at the dungeon. Many people have attended ghost tours through the castle and claim to have felt, heard, or seen something otherworldly. According to the castle's website, they house ghosts in the pantry, chambers, the chapel, and the courtyard. The pair drank in some of the scenery and decided to get themselves settled in a small forest area in the castle gardens.
Okay then folks, we found a spot to camp. Just over there, in that gap, through the bushes. I don't want to show you it yet and ruin the surprise. You'll have to wait until we get there, guys. When we do get back here, this is going to be the final bit where we've got to be stealthy. I'll show you. As you can see, the castle is there. So once we get over there and we're in the bushes, it's happy dingoes.
After a bit of running around and adjusting so they weren't seen, they sat down and cracked open a cold one.
Cheers, Mick. Cheers. Cheers, man, dingoes.
They set up their camp, but it's then that the first problem arose. Look at the amount of drinks they brought with them.
Show you all our food and drink. I'll start with the drinks first. So we've got a can each of the blood orange left. This is just the cheap one from Aldi, but it does for me and little schmickaroony. We've also got 4 cans of Madry with young Chris on the side of the can dingo there. We've got some water, which will come in handy in the morning because we'll have a thirst on, and we can have a caramel cappuccino, a good old Jürgen Klofsky. We've got this, just a third of a bottle, Glen Morangi, the Lasanta. This is the whiskey we had.
And as if all that wasn't enough, they also brought a bottle of red. Naturally, as the drinks got guzzled, the cockier they became. Which was when they realised the woods themselves might house some spooky stuff.
Mick, come here. Go in the tent. Go in the tent. Go in the tent. Fuck. We've been caught. Shit, guys. We've been caught, I think. There's a tour going on. There's people getting... There's people getting walked around on a tour. Oh, shit. I'm hoping and praying they don't come through here.
So they've pitched up their campsite in the middle of the castle gardens, while a haunted tour is going on just a few meters away. So much for stealth. As expected, a staff member clocks them.
Oh, fuck. We
know that you should be here. Have you got permission? I'm conducting a ghost tour here. Have you got permission to be here?
Oh.
That ghoulish noise wasn't enough to fend off the tour guide, and he ended up giving them a bit of a talking to.
Have you got permission to be here?
Aye, we've got permission, mate.
From who?
The owner.
Have you?
Aye.
Well, I'll be speaking with a caretaker just to make sure. I'm conducting a ghost tour here, so if I can tell you to keep any noise down.
Listen, mate.
What's that?
Look, we need bother, right? We've had a few drinks, so we wouldn't be able to drive home anyway, if you know what I mean.
Right. Well, I've still got to report you being
listen,
on the
mate.
premises.
There's no point doing that.
Oh, I think there is.
There's not. We need bother. We're not causing any trouble.
Well, I've got to make them aware.
Listen,
that's fine. No.
We'll be going first thing in the morning. Man,
I'll tell them that.
no bother, Mandingo.
The plot thickens. They posted up while a ghost tour was going on right where they were, and they didn't ask for any permission to use the castle grounds. Blot uses the excuse of having a few drinks so they can't get kicked out. But they then start messing with the ghost tour.
Oh. Oh.
They were not in the good books after this, which is when everything gets 10 times worse. The caretaker gets called out to deal with them, but Blot refuses to accept any responsibility of even saying sorry. He just throws out a barrage of excuses.
Well, mate, we've had a few drinks, so we can't.
No, I know. I appreciate what you're saying.
We can't move on.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, but the owner, if he found you here in the morning, he'd do his bloody nut. And you wouldn't want to be on the bluff of him, I tell you.
We'll be gone before it's light.
Honestly.
Mate, we can't move. We can't.
Can't move because we've had a few drinks.
Like, I swear down.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
We've shared it. We've
Right
shared.
early in the morning.
Well, where are you from anyway?
Sunderland.
Yeah, but what are you doing here? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing?
Well,
What led you to here?
well, I might as well say it. We've got a YouTube channel, like for wild camping.
Right.
So, like, you know, we're pretty professional. We never leave any mess.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that.
And all that kind of
If
stuff.
you'd asked permission, he might have thought differently. But
Yeah.
honestly, the owner, and sometimes he goes out in the morning shooting and stuff like that.
Aye.
He knows what areas shouldn't be occupied.
Aye.
Honestly, I'm really, now I know you're here. I'm gonna have to shift you.
I know,
up.
but mate,
can't.
there's
Kind of
There's-
nothing, mate,
like,
honestly.
we've had a bottle of wine between us, right?
Yeah, but if you move to the fields across the road, that's nothing to do with us. That's a bit more open. Not only that, you know when you had the storm Arwen,
Right.
there's lots of trees around in this area that are unsafe.
Mhm.
Daylight is not so bad because you can see stuff coming, but if there's something here that's going to fall on you, it's going to kill you. I know it's still tonight, but a lot of these trees around here are quite unstable.
Right.
Honestly, I'm going to have to shift. I'm a
So
caretaker of
what's
the castle.
so what's our option now? You're gonna have to phone the police or something.
No, so I don't want to get involved.
Well,
in
mate,
that.
we can't.
No,
Honestly,
no,
mate,
nothing,
I can't move because
We kind of got home, drink, drive.
we've had a couple of glasses of wine each, and we've
Yeah,
had
I'm not
we've had
asking
2
you
beers
driving
each.
it. Where's your car then? You got a car down here?
It's just outside, like the main gates.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah. but-
So we're physically. I can't drive. I can't
No, I'm
even.
not asking you to
I
drive,
can't even get
but-
in. I can't even. We can't even go in the. I know the law, so we can't even go in the vehicle to sleep
No, I'm not
because
asking
we
you
can
to- I'm
get
not
done
asking
for
you
drink
to go
driving
to the-
still.
I'm not asking you to go to the car. What I'm asking you is, you know, if you go and choose a field across the road or something like that, it's different. But this is like classed as like garden area. It's not like open land. It's actually all part of the gardens. If you were in the fields, it'd be different.
After a long while of refusing to listen to any reason, Blot and Mick managed to get the caretaker to leave, still refusing to believe they did anything wrong by basically trespassing and causing disruption to an experience that people had paid for. They end up getting even more plastered. Just take a look at them here.
I'm normally a little bit more generous than Mick. Mick's scores are normally a bit less than mine, so that's just normal. Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mandingos? This is serious stealth camping. Right. Time for bed, mate.
How's bed?
Oh, well then. Bedtime, little dingo.
Thankfully, before either one of them passed out in the dirt, they got into their tent and snuggled up for the night. But it was then that all hell broke loose and the spirits took their revenge.
Okay, folks, we're back in the tent now. I've got to be honest, there's been nothing spooky happen tonight. It's been a nice, chilled out camp. What the fuck's that? Sorry, guys.
What the fuck is that?
There's definitely something going on outside the tent.
What the fuck is that?
Fucking hell.
I'll put the card out there.
Calm. Stay still, stay still, stay still. It stopped. It stopped. There was definitely some footsteps or something out there, Mandingos. I don't know if you heard that. The camera probably didn't pick it up, so you probably think we're fully.
It's faint, but you can certainly hear footsteps or some kind of commotion happening just outside their tent.
There's definitely something going on outside the tent.
What the?
They tried to put it out of their minds, as it could have been something completely logical, like another groundskeeper or a woodland animal. As they tried to get back to sleep, they were both jolted awake when their worst nightmare came to life all around them.
Flies all over. Why are you technically minded? Okay guys, it's that time of night. Me and Schmick, we're going to get some sleep now. It's very late, it's after midnight. It's been a great night, apart from getting caught. But, you know, it's been
What the fuck, man?
hold on.
What the fuck's that?
Just hang tight, hang tight. Shh, the fuck. Wait, quiet. Oh yeah,
I'm fucked down there.
no, we're not gone, we're not gone. We'll have to stay. What the hell was that? What was that? Right. Honestly. My heart is beating. I feel sick. And I feel cold. How cold is it going now? Like, honestly, I normally think things like this is full of shit. I don't know if the cameras picked that up. You might think we're talking absolute crap, but could you hear them noises there?
So it's scared of it,
There was like noises of like the bushes going outside, and like daft, like weird like noises. I don't know if it was like human noises, or I don't know how to describe it, but I've got this horrible chill up my body, and believe you me guys, I am scared of no man, but that's a funny old feeling.
I'll sleep there at night.
There's no way I'm going
Yeah,
out.
what's it? Yeah.
There's no way I'm going out and packing up. Right, guys. I tell you what. I am bursting for a slash Gordon. I'm going to brave it, and I'm going to go outside soon. And I don't know what to say. Bring you back soon.
If that's not a reason not to trespass on the grounds of a haunted castle, I don't know what is. It looked like something was messing with the outside of their tent, and that weirdly gravelly laugh sound was horrific.
Fuck.
Could the tour guide and the caretaker have been warning them to move because they knew someone or something was waiting to strike? The more likely explanation might be that they were that belligerent and stubborn and had way too much drink that the staff decided to play a little prank on them to keep them away. But surely, they would have seen them easily when they decided to investigate the area. Plus, if the history of Chillingham Castle is true, is it really so far-fetched to think some kind of entity was toying with them? What do you think? Number 6. Under construction. While just trying to record the current state of a nearby construction area to show her family, this woman ended up recording something absolutely mind-boggling. It was so weird that nothing she has been able to come up with could explain it. Take a look. It's clearly the shape of a human stumbling to their feet whilst underneath a cloth, but as they rise up, the cloth falls to reveal that there was nothing there at all. Now, in this day and age, we do need to be very cautious of things like AI generated content, and the way that sheet of material is moving comes across extremely unnatural, almost animated. Do you think this could be a spirit realizing it's showing itself and quickly vanishing? Or is there something more technical about all of this? A poltergeist told me you enjoy scary videos like this, but don't subscribe just yet. We'll earn your subscription by the end of this scary compilation. Number 5. Frightening felines. When Mina the cat passed over, her owners were devastated, but the next day, they realised that maybe she wasn't gone at all. Check out this incredible footage they caught on their security cameras. Can you hear those little meows? Apparently the people who uploaded this video do not own another cat, so what the hell is going on? The fish toy could have been activated by itself, but the weirdest thing is the translucent figure of a cat. Is it Mina? Could it have been edited? But realistically, if you've lost a pet, the last thing you want to do is edit videos of them as a ghost for internet clout. Surely. That would be too heartbreaking for anyone. Could this be footage of a real kitty spirit, or some fancy video editing? Either way, rest in peace, Mina. Number 4. Apartment 202. This scary footage was captured by the current resident of an alleged haunted flat in Florida. John and Digiana moved into the flat in early 2024 and almost immediately began suspecting that the property wasn't exactly empty.
What the fuck?
According to their description, those balls do not light up unless physically touched by something. You might be thinking that the dog bumped the table and set off a bit of a chain reaction, but the event was caught from a different angle. He was nowhere near it. So what could be causing this kind of activity so frequently? One day, they were able to track down the flat's previous owner after a letter for her was mistakenly delivered to apartment 202. Some back and forth with her confirmed exactly what they were dreading. She also experienced paranormal activity in the flat and ended up fleeing one night, never to return. The pair of them share common ground on things being mysteriously covered in claw marks, and she even mentioned that at one point she swears she saw the dark figure of an older man sitting in one of the armchairs. Her only advice to John and Digiana was to get the hell out of there as soon as possible, as saging and airing the place out did absolutely nothing but make the activity worse for her. The pair decided they aren't going to be beaten that easily, so they started trying to ignore the supposed spirits and get on with moving in and moving stuff around. But whatever lingered alongside them was not happy with that decision.
No way. No way.
I swear to God. Close it. Close it again. Close it. Close it. Bro?
I hope I recorded that.
Okay. Wait, are you recording?
They say that there are no strings causing the drawer to open itself, but to be fair, there is nowhere that it could actually be attached to on that chest. You can see that John grabs at the whole front of the chest, so you know there's nothing there, but the activity, calming down slightly, made him a bit too cocky, because he soon began interacting with the entity, causing all hell to break loose.
Leave us alone. This is our apartment. She didn't want me to come at you and address you, but I have to. She's my responsibility. This is my apartment, her apartment. It's not your apartment. You need to leave us alone. No more whispering in her ears when she's showering. No more growling in her while she's sleeping. You touching her foot and freaking the dog out. Please stop it. Oh no, stop it. I'm telling you, no please anymore. We said please. Now it's stop it. I got chills. Show yourself. Show yourself in this mirror. I heard that they fucking shaking. Don't be a coward. Do it. Show yourself. Do something. Oh my God.
Clearly, all that anger just got the spirit charged up. While it could all be planned out and John was just reading from a script, he appears extremely nervous, tripping over his words and such. If he were pretending, why be so scared?
Fuck!
After this happened, the pair installed a proper set of security cameras in the flat, and while Digiana was home alone one day, she realised what a godsend they were.
With one word, Pharaoh can take away your very lives. But there is one thing he cannot take away from you. Your faith. Believe, for we will see God's wonders. Take away from you your faith. Believe, for we will see God's wonders. But there is one thing we cannot take away from you. Your faith. Believe. For we will see God.
As spooky as this is, there's something a bit fishy about it. Number 1, why did she wave to activate the camera when it was already on? Number 2, she trekked through the whole apartment to prove there were no strings being pulled anywhere. There's only one room where a string puller would be based on the way that chair moved backwards. And that room is the only one she went nowhere near. It could have been just a slip of the mind, but does that cast doubt on the rest of their content? Let us know what you think down below.
Oh my God!
Number 3, the gateway. This terrifying footage was caught by the co-worker of the original post on Reddit. While trying to relax one night, she heard a strange groaning sound outside. Fearing there was about to be a home invasion, she got up and ran to check her security camera, but it was no purged night. It was something much stranger. The cat spent no time getting the hell out of there. He's got the right idea, because according to the original poster, the gate that swung open is extremely heavy and difficult to open. So it definitely wouldn't be because of the wind. And as if there wasn't enough, some weird orbs flies towards the gate, just after it opens. And what was that growl at the end? The original poster left this comment under the video, expanding a little. The hell does that mean? So it could have been a crackergeist, an animal, or some sort of possible eldritch horror. Whatever it was, you better be glad it's behind a screen and nowhere near you. Number 2, crazy or possessed. This interesting footage was caught by someone just trying to chill out after some stressful parallel parking. Normally, the worst things you'll encounter leering in your windows is a parking enforcement officer or an angry wasp. But this person was greeted by something 10 times more terrifying.
Can you not touch my car like that?
Can you give me the phone, please?
What?
Can you give me the phone? I want to send a text. What are you doing sitting outside this house?
What are you doing?
I live here.
You don't live here.
What are you doing?
Can you get your hands off my car, please?
No.
Please.
What are you doing?
Leave. Go away.
What are you doing?
Go away.
I'll be away up to fucking Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp! Get away from here!
What rustled her jimmies? And why on God's green earth would you roll the window down further? You can hear that she says something along the lines of, "Go back to Zimbabwe."
Go away.
What are you doing?
Go away.
I'll be away up to fucking Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp!
Meaning there's a pretty good chance this is just a stupid outburst. But the complete change in her tone of voice when she begins losing it is absolutely horrifying. She was either possessed by some kind of ghost bigot, or she is the devil incarnate.
Stupid little pimp! Get away from here!
Number 1. Flaws of evil. Multi-story car parks at night can be some of the eeriest feeling places in the world, and the bikers you'll see in this video were feeling those suspicious vibes. After the final biker pulled out of the parking area, feeling more and more jittery the further he went. He thought he had got away from whatever was scot-free, but the CCTV footage says otherwise. Check it out. Where the hell did she come from? Was she just waiting there? And how did she launch herself into the air like that? Her behaviour before ascending wasn't odd at all, just looked like another person making their way through the chilly concrete jungle. But the biker looked like he felt something was off before he left, and maybe, just maybe, so will you when everything's dark and quiet inside your bedroom.
Closely, you can see the disembodied hand that did it. At this moment, the hollowed shadow of a lady appears in the middle of the back seat, seated right behind him, replying to his words. We are hit with the sight of a female, pale-looking spirit after of a child. And it's not long before we spot the silhouette of a kid hiding behind a corner, staring right back at the owner of the video.